Meanwhile, the finger pointing continues as the Democrats look for answers behind Kamala Harris's loss to Donald Trump in the election. Democratic Senator Bernie Sanders is expressing disappointment on the party's involvement on key issues.
Here is the reality. The working class of this country is angry, and they have a reason to be angry. We are living in an economy today, Donna, where the people on top are doing phenomenally well, while 60% of our people are living paycheck to paycheck.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi lambasted President Joe Biden for his part in Harris's loss, blaming him for exiting the race too late. For more on all this, then, I'm joined by CTV political analyst Eric Ham. Eric, good to have you today. Thanks for taking the time.
Good to be with you. Thanks for having me.
So let's start, since we were just speaking about the Democrats. It kind of seems like there's a bit of a blame game going on here after that loss. What do you make of all the reaction to maybe Biden not dropping out quick enough, Kamala Harris maybe not having enough time in her campaign? Do you think that actually plays a role?
Oh, certainly. In fact, when you go behind the scenes to look at just how ineffectual the Biden campaign was prior to Harris taking over, you see just how difficult that lift was for Kamala Harris with only 100 days to right the ship, raise the money, and also put together an effective organization that can compete with a MAGA juggernaut that had been running since right after the midterms of 2022.
But then why do you think that the polls made it seem as though Kamala Harris was doing so well? Most of them showed them neck and neck, with a few, with Kamala Harris just in the lead. And it didn't seem like, when we're watching, the dust is settling, we're seeing the results from the election, it didn't seem like they were close at all.
Well, that's because in the end, it was a very close election. Kamala Harris lost by just over 4 million votes, and it was a very tight election. In fact, when you look at all of the battleground states, in fact, where Kamala Harris lost in the battleground states, we now are seeing that where you had a Democrat down ballot in one of those Senate races that was very competitive, Democrats won every last one of those races. So clearly there was a lot of split ticketing that was going on, where you had people who were voting for Donald Trump at the top and you had people voting for Democrats at the bottom. What that says is they wanted Donald Trump, but they clearly wanted a check on Donald Trump. And so I think the polls in many ways got it right. This was a very close election. And what we're seeing here is it's a split election, which is why we're still getting enough figures coming in, because there's still one Senate race that has yet to be called in Pennsylvania.
Okay, I understand. Okay, let's move on then to reaction from the other side. Trump so far has been moving quickly to build his administration, already naming some key players. What do you make of how quickly he's moving here?
I think what we're seeing here is Donald Trump has clearly learned from the last time that he put together an administration, which is why he came out the gate so quickly with his White House chief of staff. Well, we do know that he has said before that if he had it to do all over again, he would have named a White House chief of staff much more sooner. And that's what we're seeing. In addition to that, we're already now saying that he's already begun to go through people that he would want to serve in his administration. We do know Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas has already pulled out of the running, potentially for the head of CIA and perhaps even the defense secretary. And also we just got from Donald Trump where he made clear that people like Nikki Haley and some others will not be actually serving in his administration.
What are your thoughts on the chief of staff that Trump has decided on, Susan Wiles?
Well, Susan Wiles is certainly someone who is no stranger to Republican politics. She has run a number of high-level campaigns, especially in the state of Florida. And clearly, Donald Trump not only is crediting her with this victory, but he's also rewarding her with the top political job in Washington, a job that no woman has ever held before. So not only is this a first, but it's a truly historic moment for her and for the president-elect and his administration.
And we know the president and president-elect are set to meet this week. Joe Biden has confirmed that there will be a smooth transition of power when the time comes. What do you expect from this meeting this week?
I think this is a move to actually unify the nation, to move on from the campaign and make clear that governing is the priority. Now, clearly, that's what we're seeing from President Biden, as many are beginning to aim darts at him for not stepping out of this race sooner, but recognizing that this has to be done. Even as we know, Donald Trump is moving very quickly. We're told that he's going to come in with a number of executive orders to begin deportations, as well as pardons and exonerations for many of those who were involved in the January 6th insurrection.
Okay, lots to watch for. I'm sure we will be speaking again very soon. CTV political analyst Eric Ham, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.